Hi guys. We're hearing more and more, if you read any peak performance books, etc., and like we all have this sort of idea of finding flow, getting into the flow zone. You know, we think of it more predominantly as sort of something for peak performers, athletes, to be acutely aware of it. And we very often it can be lost upon like what's the relevance of flow for the regular guy. Now, I'd invite you to sort of redefine like regular guy. There's no difference between regular guy and peak performance, world champions, peak performers in sport or whatever paradigm. It's actually a ridiculousness. They're just regular guys that are doing pretty much a job that's meaningful to them. I make this distinction for you because of the flow state from a scientific point of view, but also from ancient philosophical points of view. It's one of the most important experiences and fulfilling and exhilarating experiences to be able to create in your life. So knowing the mechanics behind it is of massive relevance. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to talk about the full in-depth details as to how you can consciously create flow in your life. I'm going to simplify it, maybe oversimplify it for brevity's purposes for a short video, to what I believe are sort of two of the most essential aspects of flow creation in your life. If I think of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I'm just coming back from Jiu-Jitsu now tonight, hence doing this video and feel inspired in it. The two elements of Jiu-Jitsu practice that makes it ripe for creating an experience of flow for myself is that I match my skill level and challenge level, that it's sort of proportionately equal, albeit the important sort of balance is that the challenge is just a nudge beyond where my skill set has been developed to. If the challenge is too far below, or maybe just the same, if it's just the same challenge, my skill set, it's mediocre. I end up having the same shit different days sort of an experience. It's Groundhog Day. I know what the challenge is, I have the skills, I practice the same stuff again and again and again. It becomes boring. There's no challenge in that. If the challenge is way below that, it's just downright boring if that's the same thing that I'm going to all the time. There's not going to be progress. I'm not going to experience flow. I'm going to get caught in my head. It's not going to be fulfilling. Whereas there's this, go to the opposite extreme. If I end up in the presence of like black belts who are a little bit ignorant in their approach, they're not sensitive to my level, and they're 50 kilos heavier than me, and they're hammering the shit out of me all the time, I'm not going to experience flow in that either, because my skill set and the challenge is there's way too much of a gap between it. So what you're looking for is this sweet spot whereby your skill level and the challenge is slightly above it, that you're being pushed into your discomfort zone, but not so far that you experience just outright overwhelm. You're being challenged within a level that you can respond. You're getting close, but getting better, but being pushed, that it forces your mind to actually just submerge completely into the present moment. At which point you're way more likely to experience flow, this mystical, beautiful experience where time, a sense of time, space, reality is just gone. Time can just sort of go like that, or time slows down. There's funny different reports of it. But anybody that reports this feeling is this intense, immense feeling of just unstoppability in a moment, where their sort of capacities just flow. There's this effortless state of perfection, and hence it sort of has this mystical quality about it. Now, the idea here is that it's not just for the jiu-jitsu mats, for the jiu-jitsu person. It's not just for the rock wall, for the rock climber. It's not just for for the cyclist. That's when they get into flow. My encouragement here is, you probably have some flow states in your life that you can relate to, I hope, and if not, well, this is highly, highly relevant to you. But to take a look at your life like a garden for flow, because flow, it's one of the most meaningful, exhilarating experiences going. So, if you want to live and die without regret, which is my main purpose behind these videos as always, it's of massive value to look at your life and see, can you consciously create spaces for opportunities to create flow state in your everyday life. Start looking at other aspects of your life. Take a look at like relationship, for example. Maybe it's sort of you have a nice, meaningful relationship, but like in many relationships, the longer it goes, it sort of gets a little bit same shit, different day type thing. You know, sort of the passion goes, the fire goes, and all that is happening here is that your sort of skill level, you're just recreating the same sort of experience. So your skill level isn't being pushed, and the challenge isn't being broadened, and there's no communication. So just you end up in a couple just tolerating the same sort of stuff, the same way the relationship goes. My encouragement for the likes of relationship, if we're using that as an example, is have a deep conversation with your partner, with your wife, with your, you know, whoever is the love of your life, and go, well, how can we expand this? I want to spice things up here a little bit. I want to experience more. So you have this expansive conversation. So you sort of raise the expectation. Maybe the challenge of where you're trying to bring the relationship is increased. Now this creates this dynamic tension. Now your skill set needs to improve to be able to meet the level of challenge. Maybe it's a love-making experience, maybe bringing romance into your life, whatever. Now this dynamic tension, the challenge has increased, you need to improve the skill set, but it brings more life to it because you need to engage. And in that engagement, a healthy engagement, going beyond your comfort zone a bit, you'll experience more flow. You'll bring that freshness back to the relationship. Now, this applies, you can see, you can bring it into any aspect of your life, your business. If you're doing the same shit different day, or whatever your work, you're in a cubicle, try and introduce new levels of challenge that are going to test you beyond the stuff that you can do with your eyes closed. If you can do it with your eyes closed, it's handy, it's grand, it's fine, you collect your paycheck at the end of the week, but it's not going to be a deeply meaningful engagement in your work. This is like science says it. You don't have to do this. I mean, you might be happy with just tipping along. That's fine. But these videos I'm doing for guys that want to live a more expansive life, a deeply meaningful life with a bit of challenge, and that, the whole point and purpose is to live and die without regret. So living and dying without regret, in my opinion, my experience, what I'm finding is the more I'm expanding, and this dynamic tension of, in all levels of my life, financial, sexual, parenting, in jiu-jitsu, my career, etc., the more I'm upping the challenge, and there's this nice dynamic tension, I'm experiencing more flow. I'm feeling exhilaration, I'm feeling excitement, a little bit of overwhelm, because why? The balance is lost sometimes. Sometimes the challenge gets too much, or too much challenge on too many levels. But that's cool too. This is part of life. You're not looking for this perfect balance. You're feeling into it in the moment. That's part of flow too. Guys, look at your life. My invitation is start looking at your life like a garden where you want to sow the seeds for the creation of flow. I believe you start looking at your life in this terms and expanding in different levels, on all levels, progressively going forward, upping your skills, you're going to have a way more of a rip-roaring sort of roller coaster, beautiful ride in your life. You're going to emanate and radiate this joy, this beauty. The more flow in your life, the more you radiate a joy of life, and all is good. Everybody benefits, especially you. Hope this has been of help. Have a beautiful day. We'll chat with you again soon. Take care. Bye.